Let's build an AI receptionist for a dental clinic. It can connect to their phone, answer calls, handle common questions, book appointments, and more, saving the business time and money. We'll be using Retell AI to build the receptionist and N8N to connect it to Google Calendar. You can download this exact AI receptionist by joining my free school group. Link will be below. We're going to be using Retell AI for the actual build. This requires no experience, no coding, and we can test for free, build for free, and even deploy to a real phone number for free. The link for Retell will be in the description. You can join or log in the top right. Once you're in, you'll be taken to Retell's main dashboard. This is where we're going to build the actual agent. So we'll go over to create an agent, and we're going to select a voice agent. We're going to do single prompt, start from blank, and hit create. Now we're inside of the agent dashboard itself. On the left-hand side is where we'll prompt it. In the middle is where we'll do the settings, like connecting it to a calendar. And on the right is where we can test an unlimited amount for free. So first thing I'm going to do is label our AI receptionist, example dentist. We have LLM choice, we're going to leave. We have the voice, so we can actually click into here and go to the voice library and hear a few.
Hi, I'm Grace, an AI voice agent for Retell AI. I offer professional support with...
This is your AI assistant from Retell. Always on, always ready to deliver consistent and professional support to every caller.
I think I'm going to go with Grace. And we're obviously going to be we want an AI receptionist that speaks English, so we'll just leave that. Now we have to configure the prompt. There's one of two ways we can do this. One is by going to chatgpt.com and typing in something like, create a prompt for an AI receptionist built on Retell AI. Make it behave just like a human front desk worker would. I want it capable of handling common questions and booking appointments and transferring calls. Send it in a .md copy block. So we can hit send and have it draw up that prompt, which then we can copy and paste right into Retell. This is the prompt that ChatGPT drew up, and it looks pretty good. However, I do already have a really optimized prompt inside of my school group. So I'm going to head into my template vault and download the general business prompt GCal right here. So we'll copy this exact prompt and just bring it over to Retell. Once you have the prompt pasted in from either my school group or ChatGPT, just hit save. The only things we'll have to change is first, we're gonna have to swap out this business field for the actual name of the business. So in our case, we have example dentist. That's under the role section, where we're just telling the AI that it's a booking and an information assistant for the business name. Be calm, friendly, and have a human tone. We have 4 critical rules, which pretty much state to transfer the phone call if an emergency is mentioned, to add +1 to the beginning of phone numbers, because sometimes when it's taking phone numbers, it doesn't add +1, but we do want it formatted correctly. We have always use user number when booking with the caller's phone number, because the AI already has the caller's number automatically. And then we have to give it reference of time. So we're in New York, so we have the current time is, and then we have this variable. Under that, we have a knowledge-based section. So we're going to swap out this business field for example dentist. And then under that, we have the appointment booking flow. So we have a simple goal of handle appointments like a human receptionist using the command and instructions available. So we have one field, which is purpose, a second field, which is name, third field, which is number, and a fourth field, which is specialist preference. Below that is just the date and time. So we're going to change specialist preference to preferred dentist is the appropriate field there. And we're going to change the example to, do you have a preferred dentist you would like to request? So when it comes to appointment booking, these are the 5 questions that the AI is going to ask the caller. Why they're coming in, their name, their number, what dentist they prefer, and the date and time they want their appointment. Lastly, in the book appointment flow, we have this section. We have when to actually book the appointment. So after collecting the caller's information, invoke tool to check availability. So this is, again, we're gonna have to fill this in once we actually create the tool. And that goes again for right here. Below that, we just have a booking payload example. And then under that, we have a transfer section, which states if the caller wants a live person or you can't help them, then transfer the phone call. Lastly, multi-shot examples. This is just some examples of how the AI should answer in certain scenarios. So when someone says, what time do you close today? We close at. Now the AI can already kind of answer these questions accurately, relevantly, naturally, but it's nice to give it some context. It's like some guidelines. But it's not completely necessary. And then lastly, we have the closing section. So like I said, this prompt is pretty optimized. You can get it from my school group for free. Just paste it in here and tailor it for whatever business you're building for. Under the prompt, we're going to configure a welcome message. So AI speaks first, and we're not going to do dynamic, we're going to do custom, and we're going to change it to thank you for calling, example dentist. We'll give the AI a name, so this is Katie. How can I help you? And we're going to do pause before speaking, set at 0.6. Just adds a little bit of naturalness. And then up here is where we have our function section. So the left-hand side is pretty much done with. But now we need to add functions, and then we need to add the name of the functions that we add into our prompt. Remember, we need to add a book appointment tool, and then we also need to add in the transfer call tool because we have that in the prompt here. We have it in a few places. So actually, if we Command F and we see where we have it in 5 spots. So we have 1 and 2. We have 3 and 4, and we have 5. Retell already gives you the end call function pre-built, which is cool. We can add the transfer call tool by selecting call transfer. We're going to leave the name, we're going to leave the description, and then for the transfer to, just throw in the business's phone number right there, or whatever number you want calls transferred to, and you can hit save. That one is all taken care of now. Lastly, to book appointments, we need to add a custom function. So we're going to do custom function, and we're going to name this book _ appointment _ gcal for Google Calendar. And the description will be invoke when the caller wants to book an appointment. Now, to actually save this function, Retell won't let us right now because the URL is empty. We need to put an API endpoint in. To get that, we need to start a workflow inside of N8N or make.com, whichever you prefer. I think N8N is a much better platform, so we're going to be creating a workflow on here. Top right, create a workflow, and we're going to add a first step. That first step is going to be a webhook. That will give us the API endpoint we need in order to actually save that function inside of Retell. So we'll hit copy once we're inside of the webhook module. We'll copy that URL, come back over to Retell, and simply paste it into the API endpoint field. Now we can actually save this function. So let's copy this tool name, and let's Command F where we have tools, where we have the blank tool variables, and we're going to just replace the new tool name with that blank field. And we're going to hit save. Now we need to actually add these parameters inside of the function. We need to do that because N8N, or Google Calendar rather, needs a certain information sent over in order for it to actually book appointments. So you can't just book an appointment with no information. You need to give Google Calendar, obviously, the start time of the appointment, the end time of the appointment, as well as one field from here, either a name, a number. We have name, purpose, preferred specialist, and number. So we're giving it 4 fields. That's because we want the dentist to have all the information, the dentist clinic to have all the information on the caller as possible. But as long as you have at least a name or number and the start time and the end time, that's all you need to pass over. So in order to pass over this information to N8N, you need to add parameters. So in Retell, you can do a JSON schema, but we're going to do a form because it's much simpler. And we're going to mirror this booking payload example that's provided in the prompt. So the first field is going to be a summary field. And it's simple. What's inside of the appointment summary? We have the name, comma, purpose. We're going to keep all of them as string. Add another field. The next field is the description of the appointment. And under the description, we're going to have preferred specialist and number. And under the third field, start time, start of appointment, and end time, which is the end of appointment. Now these parameters mirror what's the booking payload example inside the prompt word for word. We want to turn on payload args only to be a lot more organized, and we're going to hit update. Now that that's saved, our AI receptionist is capable of transferring calls and booking appointments. The last thing we need to do is make it able to answer questions. So we need to provide information on the business that the AI can actually use to answer questions, so that if a caller asks, hey, what time do you guys close on Mondays? The AI actually knows. So that's where the knowledge base section comes into play. So we need to configure a knowledge base. We're again going to have ChatGPT do most of the heavy lifting here. To create the knowledge base, what you're going to want to do is say something like, create a simple, streamlined knowledge base for, and then what I did was I went to a dentist near me's website and I just copied their URL and I pasted it right here, and then I said, send the knowledge base in a .md copy block. Now ChatGPT is going to scrape that website and actually create a knowledge base with all the information that the AI is going to need to answer questions, such as hours, services, what insurance they take, etc. Now, as we can see for this knowledge base, it scraped the location and contact information, the office's hours, their services, emergency care, what dentists they have, their insurance and payments, and what to do in case of emergencies. So we're going to copy that over, come back over to Retell, and we're going to hit Add. We're going to hit Add New Knowledge Base, and it'll bring us over to the knowledge base section where we can hit the plus sign up here and just enter. I usually do the name of the business, KB for knowledge base, add documents, add text, and just paste that in. Again, KB works for the title in there, and we'll hit save. Now we can come back into our agent. To add that knowledge base we just configured, just make sure you hit add and you actually select the knowledge base that you just added. That's also going to be it for the middle section. I mean, the last thing we can do really is just add background sound. That just makes the call more realistic. But the rest of the settings we're going to leave because Retell does a really good job at just putting default settings in here. So yeah, that's everything we need to do on Retell. But we still need to configure the actual N8N workflow so that we can connect our receptionist to Google Calendar. So to do that, let's first finish this webhook module. So we're going to be booking appointments. So we're going to select post. Our path can stay, authentication can stay, and respond we're going to leave as immediately for right now. We're going to hit the listen for test event. So we want to populate N8N with the information from Retell, because right now our N8N workflow is just raw. We have no information. We can't actually even finish this module until we do a test event. So we'll hit listen for test event right here. Now the N8N workflow is waiting for information. To send the information, we're going to come back into Retell and we're just going to do a test chat. Again, you can do this as many times as you want. It's free every time. So here we go. Thank you for calling Example Dentist. This is Katie. How can I help you? And we're just going to type to Katie, hey, can I book an appointment? It should ask me, what am I coming in for? Right. So we'll just say a cleaning. It'll ask for my name next. Anthony. Next should be the number. And then after that will be preferred specialist. And then after that, date and time. Okay, as we can see, the flow worked perfectly. Reason for coming in, name, number, preferred dentist, and what time we want the appointment for. Now, if we come into N8N, we can see that all this information was received from Retell. And in our body section, we have the summary, the description, start time, and end time. Just like we configured in our function right here, summary, description, start time, and end time. So now that N8N has this information, we can actually finish this workflow. So we'll go back to Canvas and we're going to add the Google Calendar create an event module. So we're going to search Google Calendar. Now let's say you're using a different calendar. You can easily just search that module and follow these exact steps. So we're creating an event. We're creating an appointment. So we're going to do create an event. You're going to want to sign into your Google Calendar up here. Resource we can leave, operation we're creating, calendar, you're going to want to select your email or the business's email. Once that's selected, we need to replace the default start time and the default end time with Retell's start time and end time. So we're going to delete this and we're going to drag the start time into the start field. And then we're going to delete the default end time and drag in the end time field. There we go. Now we also collected the summary and the description. Now those weren't required, but like I said, we want to provide the business with as much information from the caller as possible. So we configured a description field, which we'll be dragging in, as well as a summary field. There. And that is the create an event module taken care of. We can head back to Canvas. And then lastly, we want to do a respond to webhook node. Respond to webhook. And we are going to leave the module exactly as is. We don't have to change anything. But we do have to change the configuration in the first webhook module. We need to change respond to not immediately, but respond using the respond to webhook node. Now that we have that node down, we have the little yellow telling us that we changed something. Now the last thing we have to do is actually deploy the AI receptionist by attaching a real live phone number to it. So we'll come back over to Retell. We can exit out of this function, and to buy a phone number, Retell has a very convenient phone number section right here under deploy. So to buy a phone number, you can hit the plus sign up here, buy a new number. The price is $2 per month. You can enter any area code and it will come up with a bunch of different phone numbers that you can use. Just select one and hit save and it will save your phone number. Once you have the phone number saved, come back into your agent and come to the top right to the publish button. Now we have inbound phone number selection, outbound phone number selection. We're creating an AI receptionist, so we want to receive calls, which would be an inbound phone number. If you want the AI to make calls, then you would select outbound phone number. Select the phone number that you purchased and hit publish. Once that's finished loading, your AI is now live. Anytime anyone calls that number, your AI receptionist will answer the phone. Now that it's live and it's connected to a calendar, let's do a test call. Since our N8N workflow is not active yet, we need to hit the execute workflow button. And now that N8N is waiting for information, we're going to give our AI a call.
Thank you for calling Example Dentist. This is Katie. How can I help you?
Hi, Katie. Can I book an appointment?
Of course. What are you coming in for?
Just a standard cleaning.
Great, thank you. Can I have your name for the appointment?
Yeah, Anthony.
Thanks, Anthony. Is the number you're calling from the best one to use for your appointment?
Yeah, this number works perfectly.
Perfect, thank you. Do you have a preferred dentist you'd like to request for your cleaning, or would you like the first available?
I heard Dr. Smith is really good if I could have him.
Thank you for letting me know. What day and time works best for your appointment?
Can we do Monday at 4 p.m.?
All set. Your appointment at Smile Huntington is booked for Monday at 4
I'm
p.m.
gonna hang up there. As we can see, the N8N workflow executed perfectly. If we come into Google Calendar, which I have to actually physically go to right now, we can see that Anthony standard cleaning for 4 p.m. was booked. We have the date and time, the doctor's name, my phone number, and the purpose for coming in. So there we have it. The AI receptionist can now answer calls, handle questions, transfer calls, and even book appointments. If you want the exact build of the Retell agent and the N8N workflow, I'm going to be downloading both and leaving them inside of my free school group. If you found this video at all helpful, please like and subscribe. You can also leave a comment for any features that you want to see built out in the future. AI voice agents are absolutely taking over because of how simple and powerful they are. So don't let the opportunity to capitalize on them pass you by. You can easily build one in a couple hours, as I think this video only took me 20 minutes. If you join my school group, I will see you guys inside. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.